What is good, my homies? Welcome back to more CSGO news. I hope you guys are all doing well. As per usual, all of today's stories will be timestamped down below. Let's hop into it. Why don't we? It's going to be a very exciting time to talk about CSGO as the year is finally wrapping up. We're not done quite yet, but for a few teams out there, we are done throughout the year. We still have a couple of events sprinkled in throughout December, but as we do approach that new year, it's super exciting to finally realize where our teams come to at the end of 2019. Now, with that, though, the talk of the town this past weekend was not Blast Pro Global Final. It was not the talk at anywhere, okay? Everyone talking about CS Summit 5, and maybe I'm extremely biased because when it comes to entertainment and enjoyability, this past weekend, CS Summit 5 was on my mind. What really was, and to my opinion, not being talked about, that being Astralis taking another title, that being Blast Pro Global Final, and no one really surprised about this by now. Another trophy, another title, another championship for Astralis to dominate their close to end of the year as well. On top of that, you know, of the 4 teams there, it seems to me, I would love to hear your thoughts about this, between CS Summit 5 and Blast Pro Global Final. Which did you enjoy more? I think CS Summit will always be the place to go to because it's so funny, it's so casual, all the jokes and behind the scenes and the things they say and do during that stream, it makes it so watchable. When it comes to a global final with only 4 teams, which by the way, huge congrats to FaZe, NIP, Liquid, Astralis for making the global final. Astralis take that title. They beat Liquid twice throughout the event in best of 3s, which no one is surprised by. Yes, they were close best of 3s, especially the first one, but when it comes to these ultimate results, it coming down to an Astralis Liquid final with FaZe and NIP also there, no one was surprised by the results, and so that's why I turned my eyes to the more fun side of things, that being CS Summit 5. One last time though, huge congrats to those 4 teams though, a great achievement, and again to Astralis for another title over another Liquid. But with all of that being said, we turn our eyes towards CS Summit 5, which again, time and time again, the production, it's just so nice to see behind the scenes, and I think especially this year, the cast and crew, as per usual, did some amazing things with really kind of opening your light and your eyes to what we don't see these pro players. We get to see these pro players more relaxed. They just say things, they do interviews that are just a lot more quirky and fun and down to earth. And with that though, first off, before we get into the actual meat of this story, which you guys can probably already tell in the title and the thumbnail, that's going to be a few other notes out there from Brazilian squads. Furia had no Henny. They play with Gary. You know, a pretty if performance. MIBR, same thing, guys. Of course, they actually lose Lucas. They use their new member, Myron, who did show some great glimpses of star talent out there, but our Brazilian squads placed dead last together and not really too impressive of showings. Besides that, though, OG had their debut as well. I would say it wasn't stunning. It wasn't terrible. The first map they played, I think they went down 8-0 on Mirage, and everyone was like, But besides that, an average showing. They make playoffs, although it's CS Summit, so you only got to beat out 2 teams to make those playoffs. I'll leave it with one last note. We don't really see too much as of right now. The first comments we do see, MBK, not a very, I would say, strong tournament himself. Mantu, though, looking like a monster so far. But now on to the meat, of course, where it comes down to, guys. Evidently goes down to a Mousesports and a G2 final. And boy, oh boy, this tournament was incredible. And let's get this straight. G2 looks stellar all tournament long. They dominate Mousesports. They dominate VP in those group stages. I think both teams actually had less than 10 rounds combined across the 2 maps they played against G2. I think Mousesports had 5 or 6 rounds combined across those maps. So they dominate those groups. G2 is looking like they could take this for sure. They make that grand final. All of a sudden, we find out shortly before, Kerrigan has some visa issues. He's got to get out of there. And so he leaves after map 1. I do believe. And with that series, it goes to map 2, and all of a sudden G2 annihilate Mouz to make it a final map for this best of 3 to take CS Summit 5. And with that being said, you got Kerrigan out. You already had Woxic out. NATO Sapphic, still a stellar stand-in. He's in. And then you put Rajin, your coach, in to stand in for one of the best IGLs in the entire world, that being Kerrigan. A stand-in and a coach. They step it up for map 3 to take the series on match point against a G2. And if that does not summarize a G2 experience and a G2 loss, I don't know what does. First of all, back-to-back weekends and trophies and titles for a team as Mousesports, who should be a top 3 team now in the world. Obviously, notable though, still from G2. I think people are very much, it's easy to see this as a stand-in player and a coach just beat you in a best of 3. Kerrigan did play map 1, keep that in mind, and G2 looked amazing against a full Mousesports and against other teams as well throughout groups. They looked very good. When it comes down to it though, you lose a grand final, a chance to take your your first title in, I believe, 2 or so years, and you lose it to a partial team out there who plays with the stand-in and their coach Rajin. I still do respect Rajin, of course, as well, to take the Twitter and, you know, get off the haters out there. But the storyline sticks, guys. G2 lose again. They actually did defuse the bomb this time around, but unfortunately enough, when it comes down to it, they lose to a very impartial Mousesports, who continue their run to look very, very good. There wasn't top-of-the-line talent here, right? They were at Blast Pro Global Final, some of your top teams there. There were some decent teams here. Mousesports, they take the event in a miracle run, and it was super, super fun to watch. At the end of the day, this summarizes to me the G2 experience. I don't think it's near as bad as people make it out to be, but I hope you G2 fans can understand why this is just, if this was NA losing to something like this, people would never have the end of it. And so this being the French scene, I will never have the end of it. Okay, I think we deserve that. Either way, Mousesports take back-to-back-to-back. They have a chance to make a quad-peat to end their season at Epicenter. Can they do it? We will find out soon. Could not be happier for the guys, though, to pull off a Mouz miracle. Also, a quick note as well, G2 fans, do not feel totally slighted by this. You know, your man Hunter looked absolutely nuts the entire event. This guy's insane. Those numbers, by the way, yes, you still lose the event, but those numbers are actually legitimately insane. So you should still be happy. One of your new signings is obviously working his heart out, and hopefully it does work in the future for a G2. Also, very lastly, a couple of stories for all of you guys. It has now finally happened. That's going to be Virtus Pro. They'll be at our next major. They've officially acquired the AVANGAR roster. It is Jame time. It is VP time. The return to CIS CSGO for Virtus Pro, and they will be back in the major. If you can't make your way back, buy your way back. And you know, I'm not going to lie, I woke up to this morning and I was actually pretty hyped about it. They look good in orange and black, and if it does stay orange and black and with that Virtus Pro bear, I'm excited for these guys. They obviously have an opportunity of a lifetime and probably being paid fairly well. Virtus Pro pulled back out their wallets, and AVANGAR could not resist the offer, and now we have AVANGAR being acquired by Virtus Pro, and they are back in CIS, which is, it's a weird time for that as well. Also, in closing statements out there, if you guys did miss it this morning, unfortunate news out there we covered this past weekend. Prayers and thoughts go out to Brett J and his family as well. Mateos, at the age of 19, did pass away this past weekend. He was a Brazilian CS player for Team Imperial. Incredibly sad story. I told you guys we'll be back here all day long trying to cover more happy news out there, but just wanted a quick note as well for anyone who did miss that video. Just super, super sad times, and kind of re-urging for all you people out there who are listening currently as well. Seriously, you know, whether it's gaming, whether it's esports, wherever you guys are right now in your lives, to see a story like this, you know, someone at the age of 19 pursuing their dream, and as a pro player, obviously a promising talent out there, do what you love. Pursue what you love and do it while you can, because life can be taken away so shortly. But with all that being said, guys, again, thoughts and prayers go out, and thank you all for watching as well. Hope you guys are all having a great day so far. I'll be out here all day long, all week long, as we lead up to Christmas week. I'll be making a lot of videos for all of you guys. Until next time, take care, drink your coffee. I'll be back here sometime soon. Goodbye.